and welcome to the New Hanover County Schools The Morning Show. I'm Brianna Backer.
And I'm Sierra Demermuth. This is the week of February 2nd through the 8th.
And Sierra, I'm happy to tell you that today is our annual chocolate show. Along with lots of information about chocolate, we also have many chocolate treats.
Yummy, I love chocolate.
Today's show also features the Zoo Files. In this episode, we meet one of the newest members of the zoo family, the polar bear Patches.
And in the list, our host takes a look at the top 10 game shows and why we love them. See if your favorite made the list.
We also have this month's What's Up in Science. Host Dylan Grace will be bringing us the latest news from the world of science.
Speaking of news, it's time to swing over to the news desk and our news anchor, who is sitting by with our first look at your school news headlines. Good morning.
Good morning, Brianna and Sierra, and welcome everyone to your school news here on The Morning Show. Topping the headlines this week, school system holds county science fair, Williston takes first place in the stock market game, and Hoggard student wins constitutional speech contest. I will have all those stories and more coming up later in the show.
Thanks, Arlie. We get things going today with a staple here on The Morning Show with a segment we like to call This Week in History. Our Grandmaster of Historical Knowledge has all the headlines from the past times in This Week in History, brought to you by Kidsville News.
Welcome to This Week in History. I'm your historical host, Samantha Klein, covering all the colorful and amazing events that have left their mark on history's timeline. This is the week February 2nd through February 8th. February 2nd, 1887, Groundhog Day featuring a rodent meteorologist is celebrated for the first time at Gobbler's Knob in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. According to tradition, if a groundhog comes out of its hole on this day and sees its shadow, there will be 6 more weeks of winter weather. No shadow means an early spring. February 3rd, 1959, is known as the day music died. On this day, rising American rock stars Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens, and J.P. the Big Bopper Richardson are killed when their chartered plane crashes a few minutes after takeoff. February 4th, 1974, Patty Hearst, the 19-year-old daughter of newspaper publisher Randolph Hearst, is kidnapped from her apartment. She was recovered a year and a half later and believed to have begun working with her kidnappers. February 5th, 1934, Henry Louis Aaron Jr., known as Hank Aaron, the baseball slugger who broke Babe Ruth's legendary record of 714 homers, is born in Mobile, Alabama. Aaron began his professional baseball career in 1952. February 6th, 1937, John Steinbeck's novella of Mice and Men, the story of the bond between 2 migrant workers, is published. He adapted the book into a 3-act play, which was produced the same year. Finally, your weekend history tidbits. February 7th, 1984. While in orbit 170 miles above Earth, Navy Captain Bruce McCandless becomes the first human being to fly untethered in space. He maneuvered using a bulky white rocket pack of his own design. February 8th, 1983. Gunmen steal the champion Irish race horser Sugar from a stud farm in County Kilgar, Ireland. The 5-year-old thoroughbred stallion, named European Horse of the Year in 1981, was worth $13.5 million and commanded stud fees of approximately $100,000. That's This Week in History, your ultimate source for those key moments in time. I'm Samantha Klein. Thanks for stopping by.
This Week in History is brought to you by Kinsville News, a fun and affecting learning resource for children, teachers, and parents. It features school news, information, and local community events while promoting literacy and the development of good reading habits, characteristic traits, and study skills in young children. And Kinsville News is always free. Copies are delivered every month to elementary schools in New Hanover County school system.
And join us again next time for another journey through time as we explore the fun, fascinating, and entertaining and educational facts that make up This Week in History.
Now don't go away. We'll be right back.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Women acting together, embracing reality. We get together and we talk about our lives and everything that surrounds us. Drugs surround me. I know people who bring drugs to school because people aren't happy. I love art. I play guitar. I love Dave Matthews. I love so many other things. I have no need to love drugs.
Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Brianna Backer.
And I'm Sierra Demamuth.
With a variety of complex flavors found in each bite, chocolate offers wonderful taste experience. The following descriptions are a general guideline to the flavors that may be found in each of the main chocolate categories. Not every flavor will be found in each bite of chocolate, but seeking out the flavors in your mouth is a part of the fun.
Dark chocolate. Dark chocolate gives a strong chocolate flavor. It can feature nutty, spicy, floral, and/or earthly notes with hints of fruit and caramel. It finishes with a balanced aftertaste that is not overpowering or too sweet.
Bittersweet chocolate. Bittersweet chocolate is similar to dark chocolate, except it typically has more chocolate liqueur and even more intense chocolate flavor.
Milk chocolate. Milk chocolate offers a sweet flavor since it is made with milk and high sugar content than a darker varieties noted above. It also has a smaller quantity of chocolate liquor and therefore offers few flavors and aromas.
Finally, white chocolate. White chocolate, which is not made with chocolate liqueur, really isn't considered a chocolate, but a confectioner's coating. It is made with cocoa butter, which makes it rich and creamy with a variety of sweet flavor notes, including cream, milk, honey, vanilla, caramel, and/or fruit.
Now, you may have noticed that we have been referring to the various categories of chocolate with terms like flavors and aroma. Well, we did that because great chocolate manufacturers choose their cocoa beans in the same way a winemaker chooses his or her grape varieties.
Now, I don't know the history of chocolate cake, but perhaps everyone's favorite chocolate treat, which has no recorded date of invention. No birthday party or celebration is complete without a cake, and chocolate cake is the classic favorite. There are thousands of recipes and variations throughout the world. From small family recipes to restaurant specialties, each one has its own unique chocolate taste.
And I bet they all taste delicious. We'll talk more about chocolate cake here later in the show. For now, we continue on our chocolate theme with a special segment we call the Chocolate Timeline.
The history of the taste sensation we now refer to as chocolate is as lush and dark as the South American jungles where the story began 2,000 years ago. These highlights of the chocolate timeline will take you from ancient civilization to the stock exchange, and you won't gain a pound. 250 to 900 AD, the Mayan civilization is credited with being the first people to fully appreciate the cacao tree, which is still the original source of chocolate as we know it today. They would harvest the seeds and finally ground them into syrupy paste, which became a chocolate beverage. 1400 to 1500, the Aztecs developed trade routes with the Maya and quickly began to share their affection for chocolate, the earliest developments of which offered such an energy boost that their warriors often drank it before getting into battle. 1519, Spanish conquistadors arriving in the New World found the word used by the Aztecs for chocolate was almost impossible to pronounce and eventually morphed it into the more pleasant chocolat. 1521, chocolate mania wouldn't spread throughout the rest of Europe for nearly a century, but the explorer Cortez is given credit for being the first person to use sugar in addition to spices, creating the chocolate drink we're familiar with today. 1657,
The early 17th century, the rest of Europe quickly caught on to what they had been missing. The new and improved sweetened version of chocolate became the greatest food-related fad to hit the continent. 1728, England was quick to adopt chocolate as part of their everyday cuisine, and it was here that flavors and preparation were mastered and refined. Many of the founding families of British chocolate are still in existence today. 1800, the inventions of the Industrial Revolution allowed for greater quantities of chocolate to be produced. That resulted in prices for the treat falling, and for the first time, chocolate could be afforded by the general public on both sides of the Atlantic. 1875. After nearly a decade of experimentation, Switzerland's Daniel Peter put the first milk chocolate on the market in 1875. By adding powdered milk to chocolate, he revolutionized the chocolate market. Finally, in 1925, chocolate became big business with the founding of the New York Cocoa Exchange. The exchange officially recognized cacao as a valuable stock commodity, which could be bought and sold on the open market. So the next time you reach for your favorite candy bar, dig into a deep forest cake or dust your milkshake with sprinkles. Remember the incredible history behind the wondrous substance which is chocolate. This with Historical Chocolate Timeline. I'm Britton. Back to you.
We hope you enjoyed all that delightful chocolate information.
It's time now to head over to our news anchor, Airly Ward, who is standing by with our first block of your school news stories. Good morning, Airly.
Good morning, and welcome to Your School News on the Morning Show. I'm Airly Ward. New Hanover County Schools held its annual science fair last week in the gymnasium of Murray Middle School. Students in grades 3 through 12 entered their projects in categories such as biological science, earth science, physical science, as well as technology and engineering. YSN reporter Bobby Blue has all the details on this week's top story.
A science fair project on which materials and design best held back floodwater, and another study using citrus peels to remediate heavy metals from contaminated sediments were just some of the projects featured at this year's New Hanover County Science Fair.
Well, my project is about what foods that you most commonly eat stain your teeth the most, and I came up with the idea. My mom always tells me to brush my teeth, and so I just wanted to figure out what foods that most commonly stain your teeth the most, because I eat a lot of food.
Over 180 county students towed data tables and display boards to Murray Middle School to be interviewed by judges on projects in life and physical sciences and energy, engineering, and environment. Local agencies involved in this year's fair included the North Carolina Aquarium at Fort Fisher, Cape Fear Museum, and Airlie Gardens, just to name a few.
Depending on the complexity of the project, some students even get help from local scientists, from people at UNCW, from Corning, GE, anything along those lines. There are certain projects that have to be done under a lab setting. So because of that, they would need to have specific documentation to outline that.
Each year, the Science Fair brings together students, teachers, and local scientists from around the county to develop in students an awareness of the importance of science in their lives and to cultivate students' interest in science. Participants in the fair also acquire scientific knowledge and learn important research skills.
My project involved an analysis of protein concentration in different store-bought milk. The idea for the project was derived from a list or adapted from a list. The original project served as a protein analysis during processing in milk factories.
Students at this year's County Science Fair impressed the judges with their critical thinking and good communication skills. From elementary to high school, the Science Fair demonstrated that they were both competent and confident. Reporting for Your School News, this is Bobby Blue.
4th grade and 1st grade students at Ogden Elementary School in Miss Leeds and Miss Kalinda's class read the books Shiloh, How to Steal a Dog, and other books with animal friendship and empathy themes. Each book highlighted the human-animal bond, displayed accurate animal behavior, were beautifully illustrated, and did not overtly tell the message, but encouraged the student readers to discover the message on their own. These stories prompted a lot of discussion among the students, and together they decided to help animals like the ones they had read about. After much discussion, the students decided to collect supplies for the animals of the New Hanover County Humane Society. Students collected cage scratchers for cats, beds for dogs, nylon leashes, Kongs, cat toys without catnip, towels, washcloths, and white bath towels, soft dog treats, natural balanced dog food rolls, dog shampoo, greenies, pill pockets, and so much more. A member of the Humane Society came by to collect the items that the students donated. Middle schools in New Hanover County recently competed in a virtual simulation competition called the Stock Market Game. The competition was set up by the New Hanover County Public Library through stockmarketgame.org. 103 teams across New Hanover County competed over a span of 3 months to see which team could invest their money and have the most financial gains at the end of the competition. 8th grade social studies teacher Britta Clarkson's 3-person team from Williston Middle School won first place in the competition.
I was excited about it. It was fun to find out. We worked for over 10 weeks for it, so it was a hard-fought win. They did really well. In fact, I think they probably did better than some stockbrokers because they looked at the trends and they were looking more for short-term as opposed to long-term for the holiday season, but they were very studious. They looked up the stock market. They had lively discussions amongst themselves, and they worked really hard for it, and they really earned it, and they're proud of themselves too, which I am proud of themselves. I'm proud of them as well.
Also from Williston, 8th grade social studies and language arts teacher Lena Varnum's team took second place. The Stock Market Game, SMG, asks students, what would you do if you were given $100,000? Through SMG, students gain a fundamental understanding of investing and how to get their money to work for them. For all of the latest on New Hanover County Schools, join us weekdays at 5:30 p.m. here on Time Warner Cable Channel 5 and Charter Cable Channel 191. For Your School News, a complete half hour of all the latest news and information from New Hanover County Schools. Now back to our hosts.
Thanks, Airly. This week, in honor of Black History Month, we begin our series of features titled The History of the Black Achievement in America. The untold story of blacks in America is a 350-year saga of incredible achievements. Each week this month, we are proud to feature one of those stories here on the morning show.
America's great cities: New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Philadelphia. Philadelphia was founded by the Quakers' great spiritual leader William Penn in 1681. A Dutch trader, Peter Menuet, bought Manhattan Island in 1624 from the Algonquin Indians for $24 worth of beads and cloth. The Spanish governor of California, Felipe de Navien, in 1781, led 44 settlers to the fertile valley by the ocean that would later become Los Angeles. And Chicago was founded by Jean-Baptiste du Sable, a black man, in 1772. Jean-Baptiste du Sable was born in Haiti in 1745. When du Sable's mother died, his father took him to Paris, where he was brought up and educated. Then, for unknown reasons, du Sable returns to the New World in the 1760s via New Orleans. He quickly learns frontiersman skills and takes up the trading and trapping lifestyle along the Mississippi River. Becoming an entrepreneur, he soon forms his own trading company. By 1769, du Sable establishes a trading post at present-day Peoria, Illinois. he soon discovers a new area along the shores of Lake Michigan, a place the Indians called Chicago. DuSable immediately recognizes the economic opportunity of placing a settlement at the mouth of the Chicago River. Soon he is traveling back and forth between Peoria and the new site. By 1779, he has built a permanent settlement that would evolve into Chicago. DuSable was able to succeed because he possessed the unusual combination of skills possessed by all America's heroic frontiersmen: leadership, trapping, farming, shooting, and carpentry. He also spoke English, French, Spanish, and several Native American dialects. For many years, DuSable's story was not known, partly because he was black, and partly because he sold his Chicago holdings to John Kinsey in 1800. Consequently, the early histories of Chicago were written by Kinsey's friends and descendants. However, the situation was rectified in 1912, when Chicago officially recognized Jean-Baptiste DuSable as its founder.
Ironically, 19th century historians paid a lot more attention to Jean-Baptiste Point DuSable as the founder of Chicago than did 20th century historians. But in 1928, two African-American women, Annie Neal and Alice Oliver, and their friends organized the Jean-Baptiste Point DuSable Memorial Society, and that really kick-started our recognition of DuSable as the city's founder. In 1935, DuSable High School opened at their insistence, and of course among their most important graduates were people like Nat King Cole. And of course in 1961, the first independent African-American museum in the country opened, DuSable Museum of African-American History.
Fittingly, like another famous frontiersman, Daniel Boone, DuSable died on the next frontier in Missouri in 1818.
Tune in next week as we feature another historic story.
Now don't go away. This rip-roaring edition of the morning show will continue right after this break. But before we go, we have our trivia question of the day.
As we have learned earlier, there are so many different types of chocolate you can buy, and you may have noticed there are also different costs of each type. What's the difference?
Today's trivia question asks, is there really a big difference in expensive chocolate, or is it just great marketing?
Take some time and think about it. We'll have the correct answer when we return.
What state am I?
I'm the largest state east of the Mississippi River. My nickname is the Peach State. The 1996 Summer Olympics were held here. Do you know who I am? If you guessed Georgia, you're right. I received statehood in 1788.
This United States factoid has been brought to you by New Hanover County Schools on the Learning Network of the Cape Fear.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Brianna Backer.
And I'm Sierra Drummermuth. This week we celebrate chocolate, that delicious treat that nearly 90% of Americans have confessed to enjoy eating.
Today's trivia question asks, is there really a big difference in expensive chocolate, or is it just great marketing? Most of you probably guessed the answer, which is a big difference. There can be a big difference in chocolates of different prices. Many chocolate products have little, if any, real chocolate. They contain mostly sugar and partially hydrogenated palm oil.
Expensive chocolate should reflect the quality of the ingredients, which include high-quality cocoa beans as well as other ingredients. No preserving agents or vegetable fats, other than cocoa butter, should be employed.
In addition to sugar, which is a preserving agent, should only be used in moderation, especially in expensive chocolates.
Shifting gears now, we have everyone's favorite segment from the North Carolina Zoo at Asheboro. The Zoo Files tell us all about the different animals, exhibits, and zoo happenings at the zoo.
If you made a list of the most popular animals here at the North Carolina Zoo, polar bears would probably rank right at the top. So when a new polar bear arrives, it creates a whole lot of excitement, both with the zoo staff and our visitors. Last November, Patches, a female polar bear at the Erie, Pennsylvania Zoo, was transferred to our zoo to enable Erie to begin construction on some new exhibits. Keeper Supervisor Jeff Owen tells us more about Patches and how she's acclimated to her new home in Asheboro.
Patches is originally from Omaha, but she went to Erie some years ago and she was exhibited there for a long time. But they were getting ready to shut down that area for some major renovations and construction of their own, so they needed somewhere for her to go. And at the same time, we were needing a bear for our old exhibit, so it worked out really good that we could give her a new home. Polar bears tend to shed their hair sometimes with a patchy look to them, and Patches is one of those bears, and that's how she got her name. We just allowed her time to get settled in on her own while she was learning her new routine from the keepers, and she went out on exhibit and exhibited good behaviors, and it wasn't long before keepers were getting her to come into holding and begin her training. The visitors love Patches. She puts on the show a lot of times. She's outside in the pool a lot. I don't know who enjoys Patches more, the visitors or the keepers that missed taking care of polar bears, but she's been a big hit and we're really tickled to have her here. The new exhibit is coming along. We're kind of on the final stretch. We're hoping for it to be completed sometime late this summer or early fall, and we can't wait to get her over there when it's ready.
While construction continues on the polar bear exhibit expansion, having Patches on exhibit is keeping the public excited about the future of polar bears here at our zoo. If you'd like to learn more, please check out our website at nczoo.org. Reporting for the Zoo Files, I'm Rod Hackney, connecting your life to wildlife.
The North Carolina Zoo near Asheboro is open year-round. For more information, call 1-800-488-0444 or visit the zoo website at www.nczoo.org.
That was another excellent edition of the Zoo Files. Thank you, Rod Hackney.
All right, it's time now for this week's lunch menu. This is the menu for Monday, February 2nd through Monday, February 9th.
On Monday, February 2nd, sit down for a wonderful meal of either chicken pot pie, corn puppies, or a chicken filet sandwich. As you're enjoying these entrees, also take pleasure in the side items of delicious waffle fries, spiced apples, and a garden salad.
Then, on Tuesday, February 3rd, choose between a mouth-watering tuna sandwich, chicken nuggets, or an exquisite bacon cheeseburger. Complete your splendorific meal with glazed carrots, a garden salad, and fresh fruit.
On Wednesday, February 4th, chow down on delicious chicken and waffles, a Salisbury steak with a biscuit, or a slice of pizza. Keep your munch going by piling on red-skinned mashed potatoes with gravy, a garden salad, and sweet diced pears to help brighten your day.
On Thursday, February 5th, you will have the 3 entrees to choose from: cheesy breadstick bites, a chicken fajita with Spanish rice, or a hot dog with chili. Keep the meal going with joy by adding on Great Northern beans, a healthy garden salad, and fresh fruit.
Then, on Friday, February 6th, end your week on a high note with a wonderful meal of either popcorn chicken, a pepperoni pizza hoagie, or pork and rib sandwich. Sufficient side items include carrot sticks, a garden salad, and incredible diced peaches.
Finally, on Monday, February 9th, your wait in the lunch line will be well worth it, as they are serving creamy chicken chowder with a roll and crackers, a beef taco with Spanish rice, and a delightful cheeseburger. Don't forget to add barbecue pinto beans, a garden salad, and frozen fruit cup to sweeten the meal.
And there you have the lunch menu for the week.
Don't forget, you can also start your day off with a healthy and hearty breakfast at school.
In our next segment, host Jamie Stalfort takes a look at a unique top 10 list that is informative and entertaining. From animals to food to entertainment and education, each episode will count down 10 items that are tops in their category.
Follow along and see if you agree or disagree with the list.
Welcome to another thrilling edition of The List. I'm your host, Jamie Stauffer. Have you ever found yourself endlessly channel surfing on a boring weeknight? We here at New Hanover County Schools TV are here to fix that. This week, we looked at the best kind of reality television, game shows. So kick up your feet and get ready to relax as people like you try to win a lot of money. Because this week, we bring to you the top 10 game shows. The number 10 spot goes to the game show known around the globe as Wheel of Fortune, hosted by Pat Sajak and Vanna White. This game show has been on air for 38 years and seems to be the standard for most game shows. An energetic, well-groomed host, a beautiful model, an easy task, and an element of chance are all requirements of the modern-day game show. It's a game that shows a phrase to the contestants in which they have to guess the letters to until they can solve the puzzle. Coming in at number 9 is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is a quiz show in which contestants answered a series of consecutive multiple choice questions trying to reach the $1 million prize. The use of Lifeline and the wide range of question topics made this show hugely popular. At number 8 this week, we have The Secret Password Is. This little gem aired from 1961 to 1967. In this show, players guess a word that was known as the secret password after hearing only a single clue about that word. Correct answers will result in a cash prize. 2 teams competed consisting of 1 celebrity player and 1 regular contestant. This show tended to be very comical as people could watch their favorite celebrities react in stressful situations. Number 7 on the list is Let's Make a Deal. On this show, hosted by former Whose Line Is It Anyway actor Wayne Brady, contestants wear their most creative homemade costumes in the hopes of being plucked from the audience by the host for the chance to make a deal. The host offers them a range of concealed prizes to choose from, or money not to take the prize. The prizes, however, could be a trip, even more cash, or even a zonk, which is a bogus prize. With this show, it's all about your gut. Pick the prize you feel is best. Hollywood Squares comes in at number 6 on the list. Originally airing in 1965, Hollywood Squares was a game show that ran until 1981 and tended to be more humorous than strategic. The game consisted of a giant tic-tac-toe board. A celebrity sits at each hole and 2 contestants play tic-tac-toe by determining if the celebrity is telling the truth or bluffing. The game was usually very casual, as the celebrities would tell jokes, poke fun at each other, and make it an enjoyable viewing experience for all audiences. Taking the number 5 spot is Deal or No Deal. The simple rules of this game are for the contestant to pick a number to a case that contains a certain amount of money. The contestant would then negotiate with the banker and decide to keep their winnings, called deal, or play further by choosing no deal. The best part of the show is host Howie Mandel's extreme germ phobia. Watching him run away from grateful winners looking for a hug never gets old. Coming in as number 4 on the list is Family Feud. Family Feud is a game show that puts 2 families up against one another. They're asked a survey question and are expected to give the most popular answers. Hosted by Steve Harvey, Family Feud is one of the funniest game shows on television. Number 3 on the best game show list is The Price is Right. Drew Carey currently hosts this daytime game show in which contestants play games, solve puzzles, and perform tasks based on their knowledge of the prices of everyday household items. Each contestant faces a different game, but it all comes down to the same theme. Is the price right? The number 2 spot on our list goes to Pyramid. In this game airing from 1973 to 1988, 2 contestants would be paired up with 2 guest celebrities in order to win a cash prize. The rules? Simply pick a category on the pyramid, try to guess a series of words or phrases that are being acted out by your teammate. Answer the most, and boom, you're a winner. And finally, coming in at number 1 is, drumroll please, Jeopardy! Jeopardy! A game that we've been screaming at through our television screen for years. Premiering in 1984 with noted smart guy host Alex Trebek, Jeopardy! Has been known as a trivia quiz show for years. In this game, 3 contestants answer questions from 7 categories with a famous twist. Each answer must be in question form. For example, if I said, this New Hanover County Schools TV star has beautiful flowing red hair, twinkling eyes and never ceases to put a smile on the shining faces of the viewers, you would answer, who is Jamie Stalfart? Jeopardy tops our list not only because of its longevity, but because it's won 13 daytime Emmys. Well, that does it for another edition of the list. No matter how old or how new, how casual or how dire, game shows will always have a special place on our television screens. Thanks for watching. I'm Jamie Stalfart, and join us again next time as we explore another fascinating Top 10 topic, right here on the list.
That was a great list. There are so many fun and neat game shows. Do you have a favorite?
I actually like Deal or No Deal because I like the challenge of trying to pick which case is the right one. What about you?
I don't really watch game shows, but I guess mine would be the same because I've actually seen that.
Yeah, it is a good show. Now coming up, we have What's Up in Science with our host Dylan Grace and more Your School News here on the morning show. But first, we have a little music for your morning.
Georges Bizet was a French composer during the Romantic era. He was best known for his operas. His career was cut short by an early death at the age of 47. Most of his works became successful many years after it was first released.
A song that received poor reviews at first by people, but then became famous when Bizet's song L'Arlésienne Suite 1. Bizet used a full symphony orchestra and the first performance of the music was at a concert in 1872.
The opening of the song has a strong, vibrant theme. It consists of 27 numbers, 4 voice, chorus, and a small orchestra.
Here is this morning's great moment in music.
Takeout meals for just $12.99. Call them.
Sherry Pearson. You are the sole surviving heir of the King of Montanopolis, and you are now worth $45 million.
I'm rich! This can't be real.
Of course it's not real. Come on. Having money isn't about luck. Like that takeout meal. Cook at home instead, you can save thousands a year. Feed me.
Feed the pig.
Introducing the all-new Enclave. It's a minivan to the max, with features like remote control sliding rear doors, 150 cable channels, a full sky view roof, temperature-controlled cup holders, and the 6-point navigation system. It's the minivan for families on the go.
Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Brianna Backer. Science is an ever-changing and advancing field. Each day, week, and month, new discoveries are being made and unique experiments are being brought to a conclusion. From the tiniest particle to the vastness of space, discoveries are being made in all fields of science. Our host Dylan Grace takes a look at some of the most recent and interesting happenings in science in our news segment. What's up in science?
Hi, I'm Dylan Grace, and this is What's Up in Science, a segment where I tell you about 3 of the biggest new discoveries in science. But before we get to that, I have my technology tidbit. Mesh Motion Incorporated has created a bike lock with a key you already have, your smartphone. The lock connects to your phone and will automatically unlock when you come within 3 feet. It also has a function which allows you to share your lock with other people so friends, family, and co-workers can all share a bike. Some communities are already creating bike sharing programs which let you borrow any bike with the lock on it and lets anyone else in the community use it as well. The lock also has functions which let you access the bike if your phone is dead or lost. Now onto our science news. Human evolution has slowed down as our global community has become more and more intertwined. But what if we got separated? Bill Nye speculated on this topic, and his ideas may surprise you. He pointed out how easy it is for human nature to change. When groups of people separate, languages change. Even two groups of people who speak the same language can create dialects which make it difficult to communicate. Mr. Nye speculated over the possibility that a group of separated people could become stronger, smarter, and more resilient. This Homo sapiens might be just around the corner. While the odds of an evolution so extreme are very unlikely on Earth, as space travel becomes cheaper, the odds of extreme evolution increase. Now, as technology develops, so does the potential for it to be used dangerously. Small drones, which can fly with extreme agility, can become a terrorist threat, but China has developed a solution to this problem. They have developed a laser system which in test has had a 100% accuracy and no collateral damage. The laser can target even the smallest of drones from over a mile away while flying over 90 miles an hour. The laser takes 5 seconds to target the drone and is light enough to move on the back of a truck. Finally, it's 2015, and that's the year Back to the Future 2 took place. While we still don't have flying cars or self-tying shoes, we can feel like Marty McFly on a Hendo hoverboard. Hendo has developed a hoverboard which they plan to be available in March of this year. They ran a Kickstarter to help fund and earned over double what was required. The hoverboard floats about an inch off the ground and glides almost frictionlessly through the air. Hendo gifted the hover engines to many of their Kickstart backers, who in turn gifted rides to many others. That's all for this month. Remember, always keep learning, and I'll see you next time on What's Up in Science.
Thanks, Dylan. I think it would be great to have a hoverboard like they had in Back to the Future.
It would. Hopefully with a little more work, they'll get there. Then maybe they'll make a hover car.
That would be great too. Who knows what the future holds? That's the exciting thing about science. For now, let's send it over to our news anchor, Airly Ward, who has more Your School news. Airly?
Thank you, Brianna and Sierra, and welcome everyone to Your School News here on The Morning Show. As part of its ongoing focus on literacy, Forest Hills Global Elementary has partnered with Canines for Literacy to help third grade students improve their reading skills and further develop a lifelong love of reading. Canines for Literacy dogs offer a judgment-free reading partner that can be a source of calm encouragement to children who may struggle with reading in front of others. A Canines for Literacy volunteer brings Monty, a certified therapy dog, to visit Forest Hills every Thursday to read with the selected students as part of the school's Daily 5 reading curriculum.
The students love it. They absolutely love it, and it has just sparked an interest because, of course, they can't wait until every Thursday, and they're going to read with Monty. And then, so that makes them start looking forward to reading, but they also start thinking about the book they're going to read, and interacting with Miss Roberta also, because she's an experienced educator. And it's just, I can't wait to see the results, because on the with the Canines for Literacy website, one of the things that they boast about is that most students will show improvement in reading.
According to Canines for Literacy, therapy dogs not only help to improve a child's reading skills, they also help to motivate and support children, help them relax and maintain focus, and promote pet responsibility and a general love for animals. Caroline Bunting, a junior at Hoggard High School, won the American Legion Constitutional Speech Contest for North Carolina's District 9. Hosted by American Legion Post 543, Caroline's topic was utilizing our First Amendment rights. Her speech outlined how now famous Americans exercised what they saw as their duty to seek constitutional changes which led to civil rights for minorities and women, especially the right to vote. The District 9 contest was open to American Legion Post contest winners from Bladen, Brunswick, Columbus, New Hanover, and Pender counties. Caroline represented Post 10 in Wilmington. It is a rare opportunity that young people get a chance to have a real impact on the shape of their community's future. But the students at Castle Hayne Elementary were given that chance last week when members of the New Hanover County Planning Department had one group brainstorm and share ideas for the future of New Hanover County. We get a full report from YSN reporter Bobby Blue.
Planting more trees, building a zoo, constructing a sports stadium, opening 3-story schools. These were just some of the concepts conceived, discussed, and presented to New Hanover County planning leaders to think about as they work on the county's comprehensive plan. The ideas were generated by Castle Hayne Elementary students who were invited by the planning staff to share their thoughts on what they think should happen in their county's future.
So since they're going to be going to school, college, getting jobs, they're going to be the next generation coming up in the area. We want to see what they would like to see when they're older, get their ideas and their input for the comprehensive plan.
The 3rd through 5th graders at Castle Hayne Elementary School were part of the campus's academically and intellectually gifted class. Their teacher worked with this young focus group to prepare them for this brainstorming session with the planning department.
So the 3rd graders have been working on designing an ideal city of the future for themselves, and needless to say, it contains a lot of child-friendly things like skate parks and flying cars and things like that. The 4th graders have been working on math standards involving measurement, perimeter, and area. The 5th graders, on the other hand, have been focusing on asking good questions. Too many times I think kids get focused on answers only, and so asking good questions is really the important thing to get us all learning and moving forward and progressing.
It takes a lot of forethought and deductive reasoning to rub a crystal ball and look into the future over the next 5, 10, and 20 years. Students tossed out dozens of thoughts and reviewed the pros and cons of each one. Several students were focused on education and its future path in New Hanover County.
My plan for the future is to improve schools by giving them the same education but even more education, like mechanic rooms, their own science rooms, reading, math rooms, and give it a mix of middle and elementary.
Because we're the next generation, and then it's like what we do now, what the next generation influences what happens in the future, So if we have this idea, then we could, if we worked like say for the school board, we could put this idea into effect and make this educational program better.
The New Hanover County Planning Department will take the students' ideas back to county leaders who are working on the comprehensive plan. Castle Hayne students are not the only ones who will have a chance to share their thoughts on our area. Planning officials will also open the door to middle and high school students. New Hanover County's comprehensive plan is expected to be completed this summer. Reporting for Your School News, this is Bobby Blue.
That's all for now. To watch this week's edition of Your School News online, visit the school system's website at www.nhcs.net and click on the NHCS TV logo on the home page. Now back over to Brianna and Sierra.
Thanks, Airly. For many, many years, various versions of tic-tac-toe have been played here on the morning show, and today we feature chocolate tic-tac-toe.
I've been told that today's winner of today's game gets a piece of delicious chocolate cake.
You're correct. Let's send it back over to Airly, who will explain the rules.
Here are the rules. I will ask each of our contestants a multiple choice or true-false question about chocolate. If they get the right answer, they can place a mark on our tic-tac-toe board. The questions will rotate back and forth. The first contestant to get 3 across wins. If we run out of questions or tie, the person with the most marks on the board wins. We flipped a coin and Brianna will go first. And you will mark the board with wrapped Hershey kisses. And Sierra will mark her moves with unwrapped kisses. Okay, contestants, are you ready? So the first question, the word chocolate derives from the language of the Choctaw Indians. True or false?
False.
That's correct. The Choctaw did play a game involving rackets and a ball of rolled up deer skins. They were perhaps the fathers of tennis, but not chocolate.
Okay, top left.
Okay. The Swiss consume chocolate at roughly 22 pounds per person per year. True or false?
True.
That's correct. The Swiss lead the world in chocolate consumption per capita.
Can I get the middle?
Crinapellis pernicosa is a delicious Italian chocolate bar. True or false?
True.
You are incorrect.
Oh, darn. Sounds delicious.
It's actually the scientific name for witch's broom, a malady that affects cacao plantations. So it kills chocolate. Okay, the largest Toblerone bar weighs 5 pounds. True or false?
True.
That's incorrect. Sutured, which produces Toblerone, actually offers the bar in a 10-pound size.
I would eat that.
Mozart wrote about chocolate. True or false?
False.
The correct answer was true.
Of course.
Mozart made reference to chocolate in his opera, Così fan tutte.
Who wouldn't?
True or false? Dark chocolate is better for you than milk chocolate.
True.
That's correct. Researchers from Scotland and Italy say dark chocolate has much better antioxidant properties.
Can I get the middle left?
Which continent produces the most chocolate? A, Africa, B, Europe, C, North America, or D, South America?
America is wrong. That is wrong. Okay. Yeah. I already said it wrong. Yeah, it's great.
The correct answer was Africa.
What?
Africa produces close to double the tonnage than that of South America.
Wow.
The Hershey bar was first made in A, 1900, B, 1905, C, 1926, or D, 1929.
C.
That's incorrect. It was first made in 1900. In 1650, which country discovered the delight of drinking hot chocolate? Was it A, Italy, B, Greece, C, Spain, or D, Germany?
Spain.
That's incorrect. The correct answer was Italy. This marked the beginning of cappuccino.
Oh, that's a good year.
In 1657, the first chocolate shop opened up in A, London, B, Vienna, C, Amsterdam, or D, all of the above.
D.
That's incorrect. The correct answer was A, London.
There's all the above. That's always the answer.
I know.
Prior to that, only nobility could drink chocolate. Drink chocolate? Or eat chocolate, I guess. True or false? When scientists fed rats nothing but chocolate, they went crazy.
True.
The correct answer is actually false.
Why would they not go crazy? I mean, it's like nothing but chocolate. It's like sugar.
Lab rats got a bit zippy off of a caffeine buzz, but not insane. So,
bummer.
True or false? M&Ms were first created for the U.S. military.
True.
That's correct.
Oh no.
Can I get the middle right?
Oh, you won.
That also means you won.
Yay! Or silent claps. Yeah.
So our winner is Sierra. Congratulations. You're this year's chocolate tic-tac-toe champion and can now have a piece of the chocolate cake. However, all is not lost for Brianna. You can still earn a piece of cake by taking part in a morning show tradition. We're going to take a short break and then I will explain. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Edgar Allan Poe led a troubled life plagued by poverty and the loss of the people he loved. Despite his problems, Poe produced a large body of work including short stories, essays, and poems. He died in Baltimore at the age of 40, but his stories and poems live on, read by millions of readers in America and around the world. This background in literature has been brought to you by New Hanover County Schools on the Learning Network of the Cape Fear.
Welcome back to the morning show. Sierra has won our chocolate tic-tac-toe and was rewarded a piece of chocolate cake. In order for Brianna to earn a piece of cake, she must complete a morning show tradition. Instead of bobbing for an apple, we're going to have you bob for a chocolate kiss.
Is that what the bowl of whipped cream is for?
It is, and somewhere in there is a chocolate kiss. If you can get it, I will cut you a slice of cake.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. Fun. Okay.
Got it.
Well, that does it for this edition of the morning show. Remember, for the best TV of all, each and every day, keep it tuned right here for New Hanover County Schools TV on the Learning Network of the Cape Fear.
Have a great day.
And a wonderful week.